Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnana Murtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadi Lakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om. Adoration of Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasistha, Upashama Prakarana, section 68. The topic is gaining insight into asakti. Asakti means attachment. Attachment is two types of attachment. Vandya, adorable attachment. When you come together with friends and near and dear ones in satsanga, there is also a lot of attachment, a lot of good feeling. And that attachment is adorable, because that is leading you to a deeper enrichment, leading you to be attached to spiritual movement, to God. And attachment to God ultimately implies God realization. That's what you celebrate in Holi. Attachment to God. And spray colors of love. And allow your soul to become prahalad, ahlad, full of joy. It is due to adorable attachment that some souls shine like the effulgent sun, illumining the horizons by their radiating wisdom. All this is a profound statement. As you become attached to God, Godward movement, you develop love for entire creation. You look at the whole world. Every day is a rehearsal of Holi. Sun rises as if holding a kalash, a jar, shining jar. And all love within the jar spreads out. So if you have that, if you move towards that type of experience, you are following the path of Vandya, asakti, adorable attachment. Otherwise, you are following deplorable attachment, called Bandhya asakti. Asakti is deluded vision, moha. You are being attached to, instead of satsanga, a drunken house. I'm joking, but try to understand for a quick understanding. attached to a set of people who degrade your mind, and you don't realize it. You think you are creating a wonderful family warmth, but you are moving away. Try to understand all the different details relating to both aspects. Bandhya asakti, you don't just in one step become attached to God. Attachment to God moves step by step, little by little, called anurag. Only difference is when you are becoming attached to God, you're becoming more interested in your meditation, more interested in satsanga, more interested in hearing inspiring talks about sages and saints, more interested about higher experiences of samadhi, etc. That's bandhya asakti. Or you can be more interested in lottery tickets. Or similar exciting experiences people have by their countless trips, and how and gaining power and popularity. So that's two types of attachment. That attachment is bandhya asakti. Simpler term is used, kusang. Susang, satsang, kusang. And it's important in all the time. Avoid kusang, that type of association that degrades your mind. And you will be surprised. Sometimes you are the source of worst kusang. So don't confine yourself in your house. I'm talking about in a practical way. If you are sick, you are confined, that's perfectly okay. But you are healthy, but you are confined. Holding on to your iPad and looking for all things that are bad. And you come out and say, I never go to bad association. I'm alone. So you have to understand. Don't be tricked by your mind. Your mind is the greatest trickster. There is always a choice. Look for that choice which allows you not to be in the state of inertia, sinking, but in a state of creativity, a certain flow of energy. A stagnant water becomes polluted. Water that flows on has every possibility of being purified. So therefore, according to your practical reality, you follow that type of a choice. Thereby you will be stepping towards bandhya asakti, the adorable attachment, because you become attached ultimately to whom? To your own self. There's nothing. The greatest reality is the self, Atma, Atmanastu Kamaya Sarvam Priyam Bhavati. For the sake of self, all become dear. So don't go after too many deer. Every soul is hunting for deer. That also is the story line you always hear. Rama, Lakshmana, go on hunting for deer. In Mahabharata, Pandavas go after deer. People take it literally, but they're all allegorical. Every path is called Marga. And why it's called Marga? Because you are going to hunt Mriga. Mriga is a deer. Every path that you choose, path means any course of action is a path. Led by your mental intention of hunting for happiness. But you are hunting, hopping from one object to another. Is not happiness, more of happiness. Let me further give you idea that when you have a revelation of your internal divine source that comes in a progressive way, you don't have all the revelation. But whenever you practice meditation, etc., and your mind gains a little quietness, you find how much peace is there within your own self. And begin to love that state. Whom are you loving? You are loving your own innermost self. And to create a little bit more flexibility to your mind, you are loving God. And God is the ultimate reality of your whole personality. Paramatma. Led by this adorable attachment, souls rise to the state of cosmic consciousness and thus become free from the cycles of birth and death. This adorable attachment, satsanga. Satsanga doesn't always mean that you have to be in a group like this and listen to a talk. The whole world provides opportunity for satsanga, depending upon your sensitivity. Another subtle point, satsanga allows your heart to let in love of God. Heart is like a cave. And satsanga movement opens a window within that cave. It's mystically described as Shukla Paksha. If you turn your attention to Uttarayana Marg, that gives you a whole picture of entire spiritual movement. You begin with Agni. Agni means Vairagya, dispassion. Begin to understand the world is full of fire. And your goal is not to stay in the world of time and space forever. So when that insight starts developing, the first step is called Vairagya, described as Agni, fire. Next is described as Jyoti, Agni Jyoti, Jyoti light. Light is understanding. what's termed as Vivek Buddhi. Vairagya, dispassion. Next one is Vivek, discriminative intellect. And the third one is, in Uttarayana, described aha. If you are living your life with a Vivek and Vairagya, Vairagya is keeping you away from bandhya asakti, deplorable attachment. And Vivek is promoting vandhya asakti, adorable attachment. If you are living with that, now you have every right to say, ah, ah. And this must become your objective, purpose in your life. Otherwise, you are looking for when will be another Holi. But wait for all 1 year and start deciding. And next year I will have a special type of color. I invite more special people. I'm giving you a jokingly, but try to understand that. All Utsav is wonderful. It allows many people to join in every level. But being mature should not be dependent on Utsavas. Your Utsav must be a perpetual Utsav in your heart. And that's the goal, and that requires a lot of challenges. It's not an easy thing. But you have no other choice. So Agni Jyoti Aha Shukla. After you have enjoyed the life of Aha, it also implies in that stage you are practicing integral yoga. Everything that you do is a part of yoga. You are buying things in a market is a yoga. Cooking is yoga. Handling things, all things that you do require mental focus, attention, skill. And the more you allow that to happen, greater is your peace of mind. And the more you gain peace of mind, greater is your skill. So, doing things skillfully is a part of yoga, a dynamic aspect of yoga. Whatever you are doing. So, our mature aspirant should not develop the idea, I have so much work, I have no time for yoga. All the work is your opportunity for yoga. So integral yoga implies understanding all these points. Also you have opportunity for your heart aspect. How do you interact with people? And basically, how do you interact with yourself? Something negative happens, and your mind Googles up all the negative experiences. So your feeling, your loving nature becomes exceedingly blunted, thwarted. So beginning with your own self, love yourself, be a friend to yourself. And if you are, automatically you will share that with others. If you are really joyous, you will share it. If a flower has real fragrance, it will waft it, intentionally as well as unintentionally. So when that begins to happen, your heart is now collecting joyous feeling. That's called bhakti, devotion, love. Shukla Paksha is the mystical picture. Just like the sky that remains not boring with simply twinkling stars and clouds. But when the moon begins to act and becomes bigger and bigger and becomes refracted by the atmospheric situation, becomes vast, very big. That's called Shukla Paksha. Your bhavana begins to operate in your heart. That's bhakti. Any experience, any act, any gesture, a little smile, a little inspiration given to others, a little goodwill, you will little know. A little scolding. All that allows, all this is a part of bhakti movement. So generally people have such a limited understanding. I'm a bhakta, I have to do 1,000 mal repeat mantras. So you're counting upon only your disciplinary stage. And other times, holding on grudge against all the mantra, etc. What have I gained? So, that aspect is bhakti. And then dhyana, meditation. So many opportunities as you live by. Opportunity for your pranayama, breathing. Opportunity for allowing your mind to mentally repeat mantras, as well as mind to relax. So many things you do will require simply you have to wait. Go to a market, you have to wait. Hospital, you have to wait. So allow your mind how to be benefited by addiction for meditation. It's spiritual addiction. I'm not talking about ordinary. And then lastly, jnana. Jnana is lastly spoken, but that's the highlight. A deep insight and understanding. Who am I? The entire world is Maya. Opening your mind to the understanding that just like you handle the dream, you seem to be lost in your dream. But then the entire dream has no reality. Not a needle point of your dream world is real. In the same way, when you lose your dream and wake up, you may miss some things about dream for for a few minutes, maybe a few hours. But ultimately, dream doesn't stay on. Develop that understanding about the whole world. Worry about things, but understand it's a dream aspect. Understand it will stay for a short time. Grieve, but it breathes. Until deep in your heart, there is absolutely no dependence on the world. You are never fooled. The world is a world of relative consciousness with the three illusions. Subject, you think you are the one doing things, I am. In dream, your dream subject is not real. Same way you are not real. If you are real, you wouldn't be going into so many places to know who you are. How is your health? How is your mind? What is the condition of the brain? You don't know what you are. And the world is another big mystery. You are constantly in the most surprising state. The entire Earth planet is kind of a spacecraft. And you are in a spacecraft. And all this Earth moves on, creating a tremendous journey. And behind all that, people are just keeping their own trips. So, there come to a deep understanding. Then the practical reality, live your life with all practical detail. You can live better holding out to practical realities when you understand you are not dependent upon the world. Similarly, your health becomes much better when you begin to realize you are not dependent on your body. And the purpose of being healthy, from a spiritual point of view, is to be able not to think of the body as I am. So this far I have talked in Uttarayana, this is called Shukla Paksha, waxing moon of feeling that becomes divine love. Divine love shines like the full moon. But now comes the time for Uttarayana. Now your life has a certain circle within which you live always. You don't go beyond. But if you have come to these steps, your life suddenly allows expansion in that circle. If your house was only just 15 feet by 15 feet, and you have been living there, and suddenly real estate changed. Now you are living in such a way, there is a big house, big building, and we open a window and it's a much bigger space. Vast. You can see hundreds of swans soaring in the sky. That's giving a picture of Uttaraya. Your consciousness is limited. But when you move into satsanga with persistence and do your sadhana with patience, that's what you're waiting for. Instead of your heart being just a garbage set, now it opens the window and goes on opening. Having opened the window, it allows your life to expand, not limited. Uttarayana is when the northern journey of the sun, which implies daylight goes on increasing. The period of the day goes on increasing. That's what the practical reality. But that's used as a simile. Your consciousness is like a daylight. Now that consciousness begins to increase, expand. How much? Sun is the ultimate climax. Sun refers to the light of lights, the source of all your awareness. You are aware of the objects because of your senses. The senses are senseless unless mind gives light to your senses. And mind is illumined by intellect. And intellect itself is a channel of light. Cosmic mind is the light that channels through your intellect. And the reality behind cosmic mind is Brahman, Jyotisham api Jyoti, light of all lights. That's where is your reality. That's what you are. All the time. No matter how stupid dreams you have gone through, all the time you are totally detached. No matter how the world you have experienced, Brahman is the reality. And that's the jnana's ultimate climax. Great gods have attained their greatness due to the development of adorable attachment. It is an adorable attachment that has been the secret behind all those who are glorious and great in this universe. Let me give you to be great here implies saintly person. And the attachment, that type of bhavana that puts four fingers, Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha. Maitri bhavana is the foundation. Have a friendly feeling. Friendly feeling is much more tender and profound than any other type of feeling. Motherly feeling, brotherly feeling, and no matter what type of feeling. But the friend term comes in, is much more pervasive, much more of quality. So that friendly feeling has to become highlighted. And mudita, joyous feeling. When you see people doing good things, encourage them. Allow yourself to be happy at the good news. On the other hand, if you have crooked mind, you will find some fault. If you did all that, but look, your nose is twisted. I'm joking. All that I'm trying to explain In conversations with others, be sensitive to bring out friendly feeling. Do not push yourself, oh, but this is the truth, and I have to tell the person. That also is right. But if there comes your challenge, how to say the truth in a right way, that your saying the truth is effective. If you say the truth and simply creates a big annoyance, then that's a defective truth. So it is this friendliness, joyousness to success in people, any type of success. And you don't have to wait for success. There is always some good quality that you can praise and encourage people. Maitri, mudita, karuna. Whenever you see negative things being done by people who do it, don't go after like a film type of suspense. Let's watch what will happen to this person when he is going to be caught. How long he is going to be put into prison. That type of mind, I'm joking, but that's what people are enjoying all the time. That's what the news, addicted to news, people are in that level always finding fault with others, always degrading view of people who have become extremely miserable. They are sick. If you have slightest goodness in your heart, you will feel tender. No matter what a great criminal one may be. And for all the negative people do, pushing them to misery, that's not the remedy. All that you have done is created a basis for negativity in feeling. People who watch all this, they are gaining a negative result. You can figure that out. That's the saintly view. Therefore, saints like Narada didn't look at Valmiki with a negative view. Valmiki was a robber and murderer in the beginning. So when you are developing relation, and then upeksha means absolutely become like a wall. Do not interact. Let them tell you are extremely stupid, get out. And you walk away. If you are the setting of people who are criminals and narrow-minded terrorists, better not to go into details of talking about anything. So these are all remedies for your bhavana. If you are allowing these points to develop in your life, now in your heart opens up the moon of love. And the result, your consciousness is not limited. Otherwise, whenever you look at the future, you have to look at your toes, look at your nose. How long I will be to enjoy the future? But if your circle of life has increased, you don't have to look anywhere. The entire universe becomes little. You are that Brahman. In ignorant state, you are just like a reflected sun. Enlightened, you are the sun. As a reflected sun, you have to look here and there. What's cooking in other jars? But his sun, you don't have to. So that type of expansion develops in your consciousness. And you see your own body and the bodies of all totally in a detached way. All this I'm giving a very climax state of enlightenment. That's the goal. No matter where you are, goal has to be put into your mind, a little picture of it. And you hang it. Be careful not bag it. So this is called adorable attachment that allows your consciousness to go on expanding. It is adorable attachment that has been the secret behind all those who are glorious and great in this universe. While deplorable attachment reduces one to a state like that of a degraded vulture, craving for rotting carcasses of worldly pleasures, adorable attachment leads one to the glory of great divinities. Vultures fly, swans fly. Vultures fly high for what? The rotting stuff. And swans, they're looking for big lakes. In India, they go to Mansarovar. Just as blazing fire with its leaping tongues devours dry fuel effortlessly, so too does craving arising out of deplorable attachment devour living beings of this world. Now to engender, to create vairagya, to help you to develop it, this allegorical picture is being given. The picture is, if you don't live with spiritual purpose, you find the world filled with three tapas, three fires. Subjective fire, your body and mind give you a lot of fire. You can't fire them. People around you, the world continues to give constant news about changes, geographical changes and many changes. That's another fire. And then act of God, storms and hurricanes. All these are described as fires. Fires are miseries. If you do not allow Shubha Bhavana, if your bhavana feeling is not purified, if you didn't allow the assimilation of those 4 points, friendliness, joyousness, gladness, compassion, and turning away from negativity, if all this has not developed, created a healthy state in your heart. If it is not, then your heart is just like a forest of dry wood. And it can be suddenly it can blaze up with a little spark. A little spark of negativity and your heart blazes. And with this I'm going to conclude. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om.